Hello, friends, and welcome back to another Needlessly Nostalgic. I'm one of your hosts, Tyler Nichols, with my other host, Mr. Lance Velchek. Lance, we are into the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We're all the way to the fourth one. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master. This released in 1988, directed by Renny Harlin, written, well, based on a screenplay by Wes Craven, or based on characters from Wes Craven, written by William Kotzwinkle, Brian Helgeland, starring Robert Englund, Rodney Eastman. What the fuck is this order? Andrus Jones, Tuesday Night. What the IMDb, get your shit together. What is this fucking casting order? In credits order, verified as complete. Why? So apparently that's the credit order, so I guess I can't bitch about it. Lisa Wilcox, Ken Sagos, and yeah, I was able to get Lisa Wilcox. That was the main one where I'm like, why is Lisa Wilcox not listed in like the first person?
And we did get some boobs from Lena Quigley.
Yeah, there was Linnea Quigley boobs. There was also we had other boobs as well from the girl in the pool. So
yes, I don't know her name.
Yeah, multiple boobs in this. So, how much did you hate this fucking opening song?
I fast forward through it. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I've known
fast
that it's
forward. What? Shame on you.
You're surprised. You're surprised that this stupid. I mean, listen, it's for people that aren't me. Fair enough. It's Tuesday night, right? Which, you know. We both know that Renny Harlin has tried to deny that he wasn't sleeping with the star on the set. And the fact that we put such a corny, gaudy, lame song from the lead actress of the movie means you are absolutely sleeping with her. That is like move number one, dude. It's like putting your girlfriend's song in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I had read that in the past, but you saying it is now like, I forgot about that. I forgot that it's Tuesday. Now, I remember Renny Harlin sleeping with her because both of them deny it at this point.
Yeah, but all the cast, everybody else is like, yeah, it happened.
Everyone in the cast is like, yeah, they were definitely fucking. Meanwhile, both of them just like refuse to acknowledge it. Where it's like, just be adults. Like, come on, just it's fine. You guys hooked up. Not a big deal. Because it was also
the song is bad, dude.
But this is like the second movie in a row that starts off with like a weird like opening. Because what
do you mean weird opening specifically?
They're really trying to lean into this like something's happening during the credits thing.
Like in the third one,
she's doing the stick things. Freddy's making bullshit in the beginning of the first movie, making his glove. The opening of this is just them
drawing on the
the
ground. The street chalk.
Yeah, so it's still like the abstract look, like it's just abstract things, and then the title card. Oh, this random thing, title card. This thing, title card. Which I don't know why they're like, it's weird the elements that they attach to, I find.
It made more sense in number 3 because number 3 was return to form. So her building the house was saying, hey, you know, we're bringing back what you love, the tone, the style. It's just the same thing, only in chalk. And it's like, well, these kids aren't really even real. I mean, I understand it sets up, again, the house. The whole thing is tied into the fucking house.
The house, haunted house.
But I know, I found this opening a lot more corny, but at the same time, whatever. I mean, I don't watch credits, except I watch them once. Unless it's something very interesting, I usually get to the title card. I mean, I'll be honest. It's like a TV show. The pilot, I watch the whole intro, and then I skip it for the rest of the time.
But how else are you supposed to know that she's running from this nightmare?
Probably the visual cues of the nightmare. I mean,
it's so
listen, you see it once. It's the same thing because number 3 opened after the Magic House. She's in the boiler room running. Again, not complaining that we're redoing the same thing twice, but it's more obvious now because if you asked me this any other time I saw this movie, I was just like, oh, it's doing the same kind of creepy intro. But now that we've watched them, so close together, it's like this is very the same thing. Just now we're in the house instead of the boiler room.
Yep, 100%. It's the same. It's super close-ups that then you get the context of at the very end of the scene, which literally it's a recreation of 3, which makes sense because 3 is pretty much it's a weird partner film to this, but also it's weird because this really connects with Dream Child, so it's a weird trilogy within the franchise, which 3, 4, 5.
This, I mean, if you really think about it, 3, 4, and 5, it's like, well, I was going to say, because it's only 2 movies, but Halloween 5 and 6 remind me of the same thing where like you just have a central story that still technically connects to earlier ones, but kind of forms its own. Yeah. I mean, 3, with the recasting, it's different, but no, it actually is 3, 4, and 5. And obviously 1 as well, because 1 and 3 connect. And then 3 brings into 4. 4 kind of starts its own thing, and then 4 and 5, which I kind of like because we talked about this before, but it's the whole continuing where we left off thing, which doesn't really exist anymore outside of maybe Saw. But back in the day, it was almost a requirement. Now we just reboot, retimeline. But back then, it's like, no, if it ends in a barn and Jason's hanging on a rope, we got to start there regardless if we get to Manhattan in 20 minutes. And that's what this movie is to me. It's like, okay, we bring in the old characters and then we fucking get rid of them real quick and then we start a new movie.
Yeah, which they're real good about doing outside of Freddy's Dead. It's really the only one that doesn't have some kind of direct connection to the film preceding it.
Yeah, that was kind of like not a soft reboot, but I don't know, what's it called when like everything exists in the universe, but you're telling your own story? What's the proper nomenclature for that?
Spin-off?
Is that a spin-off?
Yeah, because it's still technically canon, but following like a side story.
Okay, so it's a Freddy spinoff, essentially. Okay,
yeah,
that's fair.
Because it feels like a Freddy's Nightmares episode expanded into a full movie versus these actually feel like their own thing. But
I'm going to bring. Okay. I wanted to get. Oh, no, sorry. I want to get into it because unless you have more to say about the Freddy's Dead thing.
No.
Because I think the most important thing we need to really get out right now is what are your thoughts on Tuesday night taking over for Arquette?
I fucking hate her. I think she does not match Arquette's tone, her personality, what she brought to the character. This is not Kristen. That's my biggest issue with it. It's not Kristen. And also just to be a guy, I just wasn't as attracted to her, like in a very basic way of I was annoyed as a kid of, if you're going to recast, at least recast someone that 1 acts like her or 2 looks like her. And it's like the only requirement was, is Rennie Harlan attracted to you, apparently?
I mean, blonde with bangs. Okay, I'm glad you said that because the reason I want to jump to it right now because I think it's going to be a through line for this review. I've never had any big issues with her personally, though I always thought she's a step down. This time, though, for some reason, I found her far more annoying, and nobody else. Like it almost. I guess it probably is the best thing that could have happened because it's obviously if we're going to kill off Kristen and then prop up Alice, it works because Alice is played by just such not only a better actress but just a more empathetic character. Where like I found myself hating Kristen in this movie, which kind of sucks. Because it's definitely a big juxtaposition compared to loving her in the last. And I'm a brunette guy, so rarely is a blonde my thing. So I couldn't, no offense. I couldn't tell hot or not. But I just found how she played it mousy and annoying. And it was weird. I don't want to, it didn't like ruin the movie, of course. You'll get into it. But it was something that maybe it's my mood that just stuck out this time. I'm like, ooh, I don't like how she's portraying this.
You really do bring up a good point though, because imagine put our thinking caps on where we Patricia Arquette in this role. Does it then make us not like Alice? Are we then like, oh fuck, no, Kristen. I want to be following Kristen. Who's this meek girl? Fuck this. I don't want to be following this girl. Meanwhile, it works. Like Lisa Wilcox does such a good job as Alice that then you don't need to and Kristen, like Tuesday Night sucks as Kristen, that the transition really works. But then also, I guess I think of it in like Nancy was still fucking great. And like there was technically that transition from Nancy to Kristen in 3. So, I mean, maybe it still would have worked. I don't know.
Okay. One, you're right. The Nancy to Kristen thing worked, but I do feel that's one of those things where lightning in a bottle happens, or not. Lightning in a bottle or lightning doesn't strike twice, which I think it actually does. But the point I'm saying is like, what's the chance of doing that twice? And I was thinking of Halloween 5 because we killed off Rachel and we brought in Tina. Was Tina her name? I'm bad at fucking names. I think it was Tina, right?
Yes.
They basically, the one everybody loved from 4 was killed off and they brought a new one and it didn't work. And people fucking hate
Rachel.
5 like me. Is it Rachel? Okay, Rachel, I'm sorry. But who did we kill off? Who did we kill off?
Rachel's the one killed.
And we bring in, who's that replaces her? Is that
Sorry, did Tina? You say Tina? Yeah, I think Tina. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I was correcting the wrong thing. Yeah, it was Rachel's the girl that died.
Yeah, so but that to me would have happened in this movie because if the baton was passed to Kristen, aka Arquette, from Nancy, the OG girl, that to me is more authentic than her passing off again. So you're right, we'll never know, but I'm thinking it would have actually pissed us off. I think so. I think it's like, dude, we have the main girl now. We already established her. She's in 2 movies. Now we're just going to switch it again. I think it would have been a detriment to the movie. I think having Tuesday Night, and I feel so bad. I don't know her. She's probably a good person, and people seem to love her. It's just me. But if she was Arquette, it probably would have fumbled the movie more. I think it helps that, like you said, not only is it a recast, but the recasting isn't even trying to mimic the performance before or get the same energy. It's a completely different character.
Yeah.
Just with the same name. So watching her die, I was like, all right, fair enough. Looks like I'm a redhead guy now.
Yeah, and you saying that is now reminding me that Tuesday Night has come out like against the Never Sleep Again documentary because she says it's a bunch of lies, and because in the documentary everyone's like saying, like, essentially, I mean, everyone that's not her or Rennie Harlan is acknowledging their relationship and the advantages that she got.
I was gonna say, wasn't Harlan kind of a dick?
Yeah, he was a dick in it, but also she has so many fillers in during her interview. She looks like a completely different person, because I saw her I think a year ago on doing a YouTube video, because it was her bitching about Never Sleep Again, and she looked normal. I'm like, oh shit, okay, good for her. Smart. I guess she didn't destroy her face, but yeah, so she's super bitter about that that documentary, which I would probably be too if I had a documentary came out that made me look real bad.
Yeah, but she could have handled it better.
Yeah,
I think that's the problem. But also, I mean, listen, I don't know the truth, but I am going to believe 15 people over 2. And it's like, all you had to do is be like, I was young. Fucking, he was good looking Swede, or I don't know what the fuck he is. He's somewhere over there.
No.
Maybe Holland. And I fucked around, and I feel like you lean into it and be like, listen, man, I was 22. I had a great time. Yeah. Now that I look back, I feel bad for my other cast. Like, I don't know. It's just like a normal way to just grow.
No.
But it's also like, you know what? I don't know. You get to do little conventions and make money. It's like, how bad is it? Now everybody's going to want to see you more at the convention. It's like, oh, so Harlan's like, yeah, I know, dude. I was young once. Just fucking lean and have a good time.
If anything, they've now set up for a big reunion where then her and Harlan make up on stage of a big hug, and everyone goes, see, they're good now.
Exactly. Some like 30, 40 year Q&A at Music Box or something.
Exactly. Oh, God. Well, I just have to. I want to point out too that. Oh yeah, I actually something else before I go on to what I was gonna say because I have this pulled up and I don't want to forget about it. Makeup effects here. Steve Johnson and Screaming Mad George.
Wait, why did I see Jaeger at the beginning?
Yeah, I think Jaeger did the Freddy, some of the Freddy stuff.
Okay. I was like, shit, dude. My notes are already wrong.
I assume there's multiple. I mean, if you saw Jaeger in, then I'm assuming that Jaeger probably did.
But Johnson, I didn't see Johnson. That's awesome. I love Johnson.
Yes. That's why I wanted to make sure to bring him because we've brought him up several times on the show. But yeah, Kevin Yeager's the one that did the actual Freddy makeup. Who Yeager also worked on Chucky as well. Married to Catherine Hicks, the mom from Child's Play.
No shit.
Yeah.
Because I know Johnson was, I know the divorce, but he was with Quigley for a little bit in the 80s.
Really? I guess makeup effects guys, they got that riz.
Oh, yeah. Especially I feel like if you're a makeup effects guy and you're not terribly ugly.
No.
And you could just talk normally, you're probably, because it's like you got interesting stories.
Yeah, they're so personable. Every makeup effects guy.
It's a good point. I mean, we both talked to, I think I did a phone review. You probably did a live one, but I talked to, what's his hair?
Greg Nicotero.
Just the sweetest person. I was like, oh, fucking, are we best friends? He was like that charming, you know?
Yeah. My interview didn't end up happening with him, but he's one of those ones, and I'm really, really hoping in the future. Because, yeah, he seems to be the best, which, I mean, I don't even know what point I was trying to make with that. But, yeah, effects, like the effects work in this film, just really, really top tier, which, again, for those that don't know, with franchise chat, we tend to like move through the film. Sometimes we'll go around a bit, but we don't want to miss out on some key moments. And especially with the Elm Street franchise, there's so many cool things to discuss. But now I want to talk about, this was the thing I was originally going to move to. This movie's so fucking colorful. Like, there's a moment where we're leaving the dream. We're finally being introduced to Alice, like the Alice character, and it's outside her house, and it's just like flowers and even what Alice is wearing. She has like a fucking plaid skirt and a yellow sweater. Everything about the shots, it's just color on top of color on top of color. So dynamic, so interesting, and so like the whole time I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this 4K. I cannot wait for this 4K. This is, and before this, it's like, yeah, I've always wanted the Elm Street franchise and to see, but now this is probably the film I'm going to look. This will be the first one I check out.
This is what I just remembered part 3 being more of, and it really wasn't. I think we talked about like some colors at the end. Because, it's like mainstream, when Freddy was big, and the stuff that I remember being more out there is the colorful stuff. And absolutely, it's all Rennie Harland. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I got to give credit to, who is the DP here? Steven Fireberg. I don't know who this guy is.
Good old Steven Fireberg.
Yeah, he probably did something really good before I feel like such an ass.
Shawshank.
Yeah, it's like he's actually Deacon. Let me make sure. Okay, so far, nothing. Nightmare on Elm Street, the Remasters, 88. He did
Big TV guy.
Horse for Danny, Atomic Train, Red Letters. Okay, well, weird. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna put this on Harlan.
Harlan,
because this is super generic. He shoots stuff. This guy. And then to be fair, I mean, he obviously shot the film, but I'm gonna put the creativity on Harlan.
And I think that's what makes this movie, is that the dreams are colorful, outside is colorful. Even when, like in the beginning, when we got Kristen Tuesday night, she's walking through like the house again. Like I said earlier, I love the fact that now the house is essentially the portal or the focal point, the home of Freddy. It's like that if he's not there at the home, kind of takes over for his essence, which I love. Mm-hmm. But even in that home, like, it's not colorful, but just the amount of shadows and how dynamic things look. It's like, this is the most stylized of so far of all the movies. And They call MTV Freddy, and I completely get it. It looks like a music video. Like in back when music videos were fucking cool, like 80s and 90s, like cool filmed lights and it's just everything. Yeah, it's again, I'm gonna keep bringing it up because I'm gonna say this is the major record label Freddy for sure. It's too pretty.
Okay, so I guess when I said that earlier, I do agree with you in that, like, we're away from like trying to make a creative movie. It's like, oh no, we're trying to make a Nightmare on Elm Street. We're trying to make a Freddy Krueger movie here. Mm-hmm. What my statement earlier, it was more in regards to the general population as a whole. I would say that Dream Warriors is the more recognizable. It's more the one that people know. It's more the one that does get
you really think so for this? Because this was like the most. Isn't this still the highest grossing one?
Well, and I also should state I am younger than you, so that this could be a difference in terms of my perception just being different because I wasn't around for it. I could be false and
but I'm not that much older, so it's hard to say. I guess here's what we need to figure out eventually, because in my perspective, again, this is the debate we're having, is I think 3 is more popular among horror fans. I think that, like, in the horror genre, that's when we pick. I'm just wondering outside of that, like, people, because like fucking little kids know Freddy is. I wonder what their one is. And for some reason, I think it's this, but then again, I've been told it's been this one. So maybe I'm just like, making up a narrative because, I've just read that 4 is the popular one. 4 made the most money. So I don't actually know. I feel like I gotta ask people, but the problem is if you ask anybody that's not a horror fan, they're not gonna fucking know the difference between 3 and 4. So you gotta show pictures. Yeah. It becomes a whole presentation.
I mean, from my experience, because Elm Street was always my franchise. It's always the thing I've introduced to people. And from my experience, they usually know Dream Warriors. It's usually they know one Dream Warriors and New Nightmare. Then they don't know any of the other ones.
God, we need a lot of comments in this. Or
we
next
have
time we're together,
let's go fans. A bunch of horror fans that listen to us.
I'm gonna start notating. I'm gonna ask people. I'm just gonna do a long form survey, and we're gonna get back to this by the ranking episode. How about that?
Okay, that should be fun. We can put up a little poll as well on because we can do Instagram poll. We can see if which I don't even know how to phrase it. Which is the more popular Elm Street?
Yeah. But I think popular because that's what we're going for. Not necessarily the best or just, to me, this is just the most mainstream looking one.
No one needs no context outside of that because it's just popular. So I don't know. I think I'll win that one. But maybe I'm wrong.
If I lose, I lose. I will say this, though. This is absolutely, as much as I thought 3 was a Freddy look, I think this is. 3, I think, is the base. I think they polished a little more, and this is it. This is like on the dolls. This is on the thing.
Yep. This is Spirit Halloween Freddy. This is this is the one that we see get made into the McFarlane toy, the Sideshow collectible. Like this is that look that it's the perfect blend of all the things that people know of Freddy. So then he just works as this middle ground that is instantly both recognizable, but people are accepting of the changes. Like because it's like you like 2 so much. 2 is away from this enough that you like if people just know the generic Freddy, they're like, ooh, nah.
It's too weird.
Too weird, too different. Also, same goes for the first film. I see that first, like, ooh, what the fuck? He's much more burn victim there. You can like almost see the skin that's like drooping off. And
this is more mask.
Yeah, sure. It's more. We had him on for our graveyard shift episode, but the Mr. John Fallon, the Arrow, he always refers to it as it's the Big Mac, like it was the McDonald's.
Yep.
The McDonald's of the franchise, and like at this point, that's what this is. I mean, and then isn't it the next film that comes out in '89? So it's.
Yeah, these are all
short
rushed.
Turnaround.
And I want to just go back to the point you made because it's true that 1, 2, and 3 they were trying to make they weren't trying to make it necessarily a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. They're trying to figure out what Nightmare on Elm Street is. This is absolutely the first movie in the series where whoever was hired was dictated things, whereas 3 wasn't. I know that for a fact. 2 was just a wild swing, and 1 was Wes Craven just being, a unique writer. Yeah. So this is being made with the intention of, okay, what makes a Nightmare on Elm Street, which is why I think it becomes the Big Mac, which is good, though, because I also think they understood the core elements. I mean, this, Freddy's Dead's a good example of when you go too far out of the range of what you should be doing. But for being mainstream and, like I said, major label, this is good. This is like, it's like 2 albums down from this when you start fucking becoming too poppy. But this is like, okay, got a little more money, good producer. It still sounds like you. The direction is maybe cleaner, but I believe it's authentic. That's what this feels to me. Dude,
this is less than a year. It was a year after Dream Warriors.
Yeah, this was rushed, and then so was 5. Because wasn't the whole thing about this is that Harlan got the job, and the whole thing was like they had a due date. They're like, okay, it has to be done by this point.
So
and
fast.
Shay was on the set all the time, giving grumpy looks.
Everything about this, you know what? Because before we started recording, I had said that this viewing it didn't hit me as hard as it usually does. But you know what? That added context of like, holy shit, they did such a creative Elm Street within a year of Dream Warriors. That's insane. Like, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
The planning, the stuff that's like this, just the special makeup effects alone. Dear God. Just that's insanely impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's special, man. I mean, again, it's not my favorite, and we'll get into, getting the good and the bad. But I mean, I can't deny it's like, yeah, man, this would be the one I could probably show anybody. Like if you're not into horror, I feel like I would show them this over 3. I think 3 has more horror elements that, lend themselves to like what we're into. But this is like fun. It's fun.
Yeah. This one you can literally just throw on. You don't need the context of anything. And another element that works well with it is it's just like nightmare after nightmare, kill after kill.
Yep.
It's I like looking back on it now. This is probably the movie of just a middle of the day, just want to throw on to just get some Freddy action. It'd be this one. Great kills. The story isn't anything you got to be too invested in. It's just just great visuals. So it's something you want to just like stop by. You're like, oh, what's going on now? Okay, cool.
100% agree.
And this leans further into the pulling people into the dreams.
I was gonna okay. I had that in my notes, but in our number 3 talk, I was surprised because most of the dreams at the beginning were kind of played undreamlike. Because 1 and 3. And I didn't know this because I haven't seen 3 in so long. But, one, it's like you don't know you're dreaming until they give you the moment. But like there's always like 2 minutes of I'm in a dream, but the audience doesn't know it. They're doing their best. 3 tried that as well for the most part. This is the first one where it's like immediately the world changes. And like that's what I think. At this point, I like that. I actually think going forward, that's how nightmares should be in these movies. Like, don't try to trick me. And that's what the remake did bad. Is they played it kind of straight, where it's like this. It's like this fucking weird and just unique and different, and it's better. It's better this way.
Yeah, the trick at this point, you pretty much, because I do like when they do the tricking, like it's actually a dream, but they don't do it well anymore. Like now that it's established as like this is how Freddy operates. You need to move past the, is this a dream? Unless you're then going to subvert it. It's like you need to have then a scene where someone might, you think you're led to believe it's a dream. And then it's like, it's actually not a dream, which then which then can set up for like you think it's like you're in a real generic moment. Like you think it's just like a transitional scene. And then it's like, dream. Like it's a dream. That's the only way they would be able to do it. But yeah, essentially at this point, every time I want to know exactly, fucking smash zoom in on someone's face and then it slow pan out and suddenly it's a different area. Like do that. That works.
Yeah, I mean, the point you make is, they're valid because that's like a good director trying to like, subvert the expectations of the audience. And, maybe in a remake or something, or not the remake, but like a new remake or something, I'd be okay with it. But I do think it's at this point, it's like hiding the shark where it's like, no, just have the shark out there killing people. And and I actually think that Harlan is probably the best for this is because he decided that he's going to just skip the bullshit of the tension and get straight into the visuals of everything. Think of just how things look in this. I don't want to jump ahead because I immediately want to go to the cockroach, but like, okay, but I'm going to step back. Yeah. Can I bring up something since we're going kind of in order? At 8:59, 8 minutes and 59 seconds into a normal copy of this, Kristen Parker turns into school and does such a bad parking job.
Oh my God.
I noticed this like a few years ago, and now it's just, I want to bring it up all the time. It's one of those where I know it was a fast shoot, but the fucking director or assistant should be like, listen, if she parks like that, she's getting a fucking tow. We need to fix the car, guys. Because now it just lends it to itself. It's like, I don't want to make a bad driving joke for blondes, but you're not fucking helping my case when she's like parking in like she has a Porsche in the middle of two lines, man.
Dude, I guarantee you, there may have been the line producer may have come up and like, Rennie, we gotta have her park, but no, we're not losing hours for parking. I don't care. No one notices. I almost guarantee because it's like, I love that that's the thing that you noticed, but from seeing those Rennie Harlan docs, I guarantee you that even if it was brought up to him, he'd just be like, I don't care. The audience doesn't care.
I mean, I'm being a bit ridiculous because she's in the spot, but she's riding that right lane.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, and I notice that shit all the time. I'll have people park, like I always notice I'd look at dumb shit, parking and I don't know, accents. Those are two things, nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
I mean, they, those are good things to keep an eye out for. What are your thoughts on this? 'Cause I'm usually the person that likes the cast of characters more so. What are your thoughts on this cast?
Listen,
and I say
in
that
terms of
I just want to give the context of I'm not doing a generality. We're at the part in the movie where everyone gets introduced. So
I don't really give a shit about these characters. I like Lisa, but in all honesty, I'm not with slashers and stuff like that. I've been very honest about it. I'm just not. I don't watch these for characters. I think Lisa is great. What I do like here, though, is what the series, I think, goes on to do more and more, or at least the next few, and what I think should be a staple of Elm Street going forward in the future, which is we get the characters and we each get a defining trait that becomes their downfall. It's like, okay, the punk chick hates bugs. I should know names, but whatever, man. Come on.
Rick's the brother.
Is it Sheila or Shelly?
Sheila.
What was it?
Sheila.
Sheila has the asthma, like puffer thing. I should know that as well. I had him when I was a kid. Like we established these, and I like that. It's like, okay, so now we know their fears. We know their little traits. That's good enough for me. I don't think anybody's bad. Outside of Tuesday Night, nobody annoys me. And in these kind of movies, that's really all I'm going for. It's just don't bother me because I'm not going to give a shit about you. I do like her brother,
Rick
Johnson. Rick, I like him. Rick kind of came off charming to me. It's like his personality. I'm like, oh, he's like nice. He believes her. He's, I don't know, just not the typical 80s brother. Just seemed to be a little more compassionate. So, sad to see him go. But, for the most part, I think they're fine. They're fine. I think, like I said, Lisa's the best person to pass the baton off to. But I don't really care. I'll say this, just because we're going to get into it, and I'll just say it before I pass it off. I do feel bad because it clearly just kind of pushes out the old characters for the new. Kincaid. I mean, I think Joey's is probably a cool death, but we have to be honest and say that like we love those characters before. Even as cool as the boob bad death is, and bringing back the junkyard, it is insulting to just like blow these characters away and move on.
Yeah,
I don't mind it because I'm not in love, but I do think I would not argue against somebody who felt different because if you love a character, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's a very valid criticism that many, I know like growing up, that was a big thing. And honestly, it could have been another contributing factor as to why I wasn't as big into this fourth film, because it's like, no, I liked Joey, I liked Kincaid. What the fuck? Why are you killing him off Alice style, as in Alice from Friday the 13th? I don't know. I do think they get shortchanged with that, but I like the new characters a lot, and especially how they're introduced. I think that they're actually all natural. These people feel like they're friends. There's times, I think it's the next movie, where I'm like, wait, this model girl doesn't seem like she would hang out with this comic book geek and this other girl. Like they don't seem to have the same chemistry that these people have. These people actually seem to all be friends, and I like that.
5 does make sense in the part of, this is the friend group. So in the next movie, Alice has like half as old, half as new, where it's like, no, the new kid should have been a different friend group, maybe like an opposing friend group. Because you're right though, like if those kids existed, they'd be in this movie.
Yep.
Because we established a new friend group. But I should say you're right. Like they feel natural. I don't feel anybody's like out of place too much.
Even Dan, they do a good job with Dan, the love interest.
Right, because that should have been the brother, really, if you think about it. That would make more sense. But actually, now that we're talking, I guess I got to give credit, because this script does a lot of things that are against like the grain, killing off new characters, establishing the brother to be like the male counterpart that's going to help, and then we fucking knock him out, and then it's just like the jock dude that for half the movie is just like eye candy.
Yeah, he's just like on the outside. You don't even think he's going to be... You don't think it's going to even be anything. And then it ends up being like, oh shit, Alice actually gets with him by the end. Holy shit. You pretty much like don't expect it.
And he's in 5, so he continues on. It becomes like it's a weird switcheroo. I don't know. What's the word for this? When like they set up, because let's try to watch this from perspective of never seeing this. They don't telegraph it. It's all, shock. I guess this movie is pulling a psycho and Scream didn't exist. A psycho like 5 times. Yeah.
I guess I've never realized just how much the Elm Street franchise like really does like pass off these. It's like, oh no, we're going to kill this one off. Now you're dealing with this person. You're going to kill this off. Now you're dealing with this person. Because even in the next film, even though Alice makes it through, it's like it's then killing off all the characters around. Like Dan doesn't make it. So it's like that's still doing a similar concept. Which also then, if they had killed off Alice and passed it off, it may have been like, oh, again. So then it's almost like a subversion of her lasting. And so, yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, because she's the heroine, the protagonist in 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Let's get into Freddy's return, because this is an A+ return. I'm maybe the best in the franchise, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I've never understood it. I've looked it up 1,000 times, and the explanation given still doesn't make any sense. How is Freddy around at all? Like, I understand he always comes back because it's a movie, but let's just pretend 3 was like an ending. How is he still around though?
Yeah. The dream demons. They kept him around.
Fucking dream demons.
those damn dream demons.
But the dog pissing and the thing is fun. I mean, it's one of those that I like it, but I could see myself hating it at a different time.
If someone tells me they fucking hate it, then my reaction isn't, oh, you're wrong. It's, you don't know how to have fun, because it's stupid. But it's fun. It sets up
what the movie is. I mean, not that they didn't set it before, but I feel like because what it happens around the 15 minute mark. So I guess this is the tried and true. This is a movie you're watching. Make different plans if this is not your thing.
It looks,
so I feel the dog pissing and coming back is technical.
Like on a technical level, I think it looks really good.
Yeah, the reverse stuff, melting shit. Yeah, I always like that.
Once it gets into that, then that's what I.
When I'm about the piss itself.
When I'm referring to like the return of why it's A+, I mean they're doing the melting, the hair dryers in reverse, like melt. That is the A+. the pissing, I think that's just a fun way to get into it. But yeah, the technical side of the actual piss, because nowadays it would be it's all CGI, and it would be, the dog would probably be CGI too. I can get up on its hind legs and piss. Fucking stupid. But this, it's like, no, they have a real dog that lifts his leg, and it's, I don't know, it's funny.
Like a fire element. Yeah, no, it's something that's different. It gives you the tone. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and it's just, then it's a great visual too, that push in on Freddy. I love it.
Yeah, the hero shot.
Yeah, he gets a nice hero shot. And like, even like Kincaid's death is super simple, but the fucking great set piece that we get the return of the junkyard. Yeah, there's that great shot of it pulling out from the top. Yeah.
I didn't realize, or maybe I did and just forgot. Who knows? I haven't seen it so long. That, I remember it just being a giant junkyard, but it's the whole world is junkyard. I was like, well, that's a fun 4-second little visual gag.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, I think Kincaid's going, he's like, Creston, Freddy's back. Freddy's back. And then when it goes in, it's like Freddy gets him. And it's a simple stabbing with the glove. But again, it's that set piece is so cool. When you have a cool set piece, I don't mind when it's just a quick stabbing.
I also think wasn't this an MPAA cut? I feel like I read somewhere that, I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm right just because I remember it being an underwhelming death, but I agree with you because everything around it's so cool that I don't mark it as like a flaw. Mm-hmm. I think like Freddy's hand goes through him and out his back or something. Like it's more gory, might not be the word, but more aggressive. So, I mean, which I get. So it's fine. But yeah, the junkyard was like, the part 3, it was like my favorite set piece outside of that weird, cave thing. So I'm happy they brought it back. And that's, I give credit to the Harlan and scriptwriters. It's like, this is something they didn't need to do this. Probably cost more money than it needed to, if I'm being honest. I mean, this can't be cheap.
Yeah.
But again, it ties to 3 more and more,
Production designer as well, because they're making all this shit and it's with no time. I'm obsessed with the quick turnaround on this.
Less than a year.
Yeah, because you would kind of expect, for that kind of a turnaround, you expect like a, I don't know, Slumber Party Massacre level of production, where it's just like basic as can be. Yeah, not all the crazy shit that goes on in this. And then obviously we had the follow up with Joey in the waterbed, which I love that it has that connection with Dream Warriors, having the hot naked blonde girl.
Yes.
Which I don't think it's the same woman, but
no, it's a different model, I believe.
Yeah, just hot naked blonde still works. But, and also I guess technically parallel with Glenn's death in part 1.
Yeah. It's a bed kill, but instead of the blood, it's drowning, which I think is, I don't know. Again, as much as Kincaid is kind of underwhelming, but again, set piece makes up for it. Uh-huh. This to me is a really cool, unique kill. It's not bloody, it's not gory. It's it's visually just a frightening death.
It is bloody though.
What do you mean? I thought he's just like he just gets sucked into the bed and then
but no,
they cut to it.
Remember, he's like Freddy's he's in the water with him, and he fucking stabs him, and the blood gets fucking like starts pouring out in the water bed.
I'm looking at it now. I don't remember it being very bloody.
Yeah. Because the water just mixes with the blood. Because then when the mom comes in later, she like opens the thing, and it's just he's just in the
I guess it's there. It's in the water, but it's quick. I don't know. I mean, you're right. I guess for some reason, like I guess I just was remembering it correctly. Instead, it's an overhead shot where the water's all red. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Shark. It's like the shark in the water of effect, which I was just thinking more of she pulling the sheet back, and it's all clear and he's just under the bed. I was like, that's fucking scary. Yeah. Because the difference between the dream and the reality, which. Yeah. He drowns in the reality, where in the dream he was stabbed. No, that's actually, all right. I take it back. Well, it makes a great kill even cooler. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. It's, especially when they're clearly trying to just get rid of those characters quickly, which I think an element of it too is that they want Alice. Well, they want these. They want to like have all these powers put together, which I guess Kincaid and Joey they're too strong. They can't have these dream warriors. These dream warriors lasting. Which also too, I guess they've already established too that Freddy's out for revenge. So if he got beat by these people, obviously he'd want to defeat them.
Yeah. And this movie, ironically, says that the Dream Warriors don't really do it. Like, the Dream Warriors doesn't do anything. It's like, you can't beat Freddy. So it's like the whole three of them getting together in their powers. Like, yeah, it doesn't do anything. No. He's still the master of his domain. Because Alice, doesn't defeat him really with powers as much as that she like has, well, I shouldn't say power. Like, that, the Dream Warriors came in with like confidence, but she actually had to have like level ups just to even stand a chance. Yeah,
she had to Voltron that shit with other people, like, which we'll get into, because there's actually there's one thing in particular that I hadn't noticed it. It's so in your face, but it's just like a fun, shows the good writing, but we're not quite to it. Let me look. Let's get into Kristen's death.
Okay. You lead, my friend.
I love that Kristen's mom gets her killed by giving her sleeping pills. That's something that needs to be brought back. We need a character that they're doing everything they can, and then suddenly it's like their mom, they're just like, they want their little boy to get some shut eye. That's all she wanted. And then it actually is a death sentence. I like that.
Yeah. And I didn't really catch this. Again, it's hard to say what I've caught and what I've forgotten, but that she's the last of the original Elm Street parents. Because she's like, because they casually, Kristen throws out casual, like, if you and your friends didn't murder him, and it's just like, oh shit, I forgot that's even a thing now. It's like, oh yeah, it's like 5 movies ago. Yeah. Because they kind of explore and expanded the lore and give you more things where it's like, oh yeah, and we did murder this guy. Okay, yeah. And she just like runs up to the room, and that's a really cool shot, which I think is very Harlan-ish, where it's like an overhead shot, and it follows her and it turns as she like goes like in a room going back and forth. It's a beautiful shot, and I think a good example of like I think what part 4 does that the previous ones didn't. It's like there's just so much movement, so much energy. For her simply just going and basically freaking out as she's about to fall asleep and die.
Yeah. It's always like very dynamic, and because if there's one thing I don't like about this movie, it's the music choices. But Harlan's aesthetic is he's very clearly going MTV. It's very MTV. The music is stuff that I could practically hear as a music video. So I understand what he's going for. I don't like it. I don't think it also made me realize that a lot of the 80s music I do like is not the girl singers like this, which Harlan seems to have a thing for, which also could just be because it's Tuesday night. I don't know how much she pops up in this soundtrack.
I mean, you know what I'm going to say. It's like, I don't fucking like this music at all. I've never liked it. I never will. It's shit. But whatever, like you said, it's not like it goes against the visuals. It feels like an era that people love that, it's not my thing, but
an era long past.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I mean, I do like, and again, another version of me would hate this, but the beach scene that leads up to, Kristen being tossed in the boiler, the glasses, just seeing Freddy on a beach is one of those things that could not have worked until right now. A lot of this, I think, if it wasn't for Harlan's eye, would come off a lot stupider. Because again, dude, Freddy putting on the risky business glasses, how does that not just completely ruin the character? I'm impressed that I don't hate Freddy going forward because, dude, this is going in a direction that I don't like, yet I like it.
That dude, and that's hilarious. I didn't even think about that. Of course, you love the Freddy beach scene.
I guess I like tropical stuff, man. It's like, well, it looks warm. It got the little cool palm trees.
We don't get him.
I shouldn't.
But we don't get him in that. That's the only time we get him in that kind of a setting.
Yeah, no, that's the only time ever. But I'm saying that should be one of those things that going forward for the rest of time, people are like, oh man, great movie, except that like that was a scene that should have gone too far, but somehow didn't, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I quite enjoy that scene. Though it's making me realize of that's one scene you can really see the time and not have much time. Tuesday night is like terribly lit. Like it's like a massive shadow across her face almost the entire time she's on the beach, where it's just like, oh yeah, they're just trying to do this as quickly as possible. Which I remember too, this was the scene that they had like a bunch of spectators, like they had a bunch of people show, because it's like, oh, Freddy's out in daylight, we can actually get photos of him.
And I mean, maybe it's a real beach, but just if you look at the background, it's not the ocean. They're clearly on some sort of like lake or pond, or I don't know what it is, but I have this weird feeling that there maybe was a sandy part and they probably put the palm trees. I don't know. Something about this doesn't feel natural, but I think that's why I like it, because it's like it doesn't fit. Like the background and the foreground just seem, I don't know, like they needed a beach and then they didn't have one. I get that vibe, but I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, and then also because they do the Jaws fin. It's like the gloves going up through the sand. They probably had to dig out a shit ton of sand for that, and yeah, that's the logistics behind this. I also don't know enough about palm trees to know if they look like they're just randomly placed by a PA. That's what it feels like.
I feel like you wouldn't again, it's hard to say because this could be a real place, but part of me thinks it's not, because you're right though. The way they're placed, the size of some of them, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It just, it wouldn't make sense because a beach is meant to be open. So you'd have them spread out. You wouldn't have them congregated in such a small area that doesn't actually, you wouldn't do that. So it's probably, the whole thing's probably in a fucking set. I should have looked this up. Some guy's like, dude, it's not even real. It's in like, Studio B.
That's one thing we definitely need again, though. They need to, I mean, we just need another Elm Street, but beach and like the sand, it's such a perfect setting. Because yeah, you have the quicksand, you have like especially, I mean, Freddy stepping on her and pushing her down further into the quicksand. That's like such a great gag. And it's making me realize how much I like seeing Freddy outside of his normal places. Like, it's like, yeah, we've seen him in the boiler room, like, but I don't see him on the beach often.
It's the reason why I've always, and I know you don't agree 100%, but why I'm not against Jason being on a train or in a street, where it's like, I at this point, I'm okay with putting him somewhere different. You know, I'd like to see Freddy near the ocean more. I'd like to see Freddy in the city. I'd like to see Freddy, I don't know, actually, what other climates are there? Near the redwoods, I guess. Who fucking knows?
But even like Freddy in the winter, have we not gotten like Freddy then inhabiting a snowman that fucks with people? Like, come on, there's so many things to do.
Hold on, dude, hold on. We've never gotten any major horror icon in the snow. I mean, let me be very clear. Like, what about this?
Does not count.
Jason, not Freddy. Chucky was only in a little behind the scenes thing, so that doesn't count. Michael Myers, no. Pinhead, no, right? I mean, I didn't see all those shitty DVD ones, but those aren't real.
Chucky technically in Cult. It was snowing.
Was he outside in the snow?
A couple times. Not really taking advantage of the mental...
Okay, I'll give him. Okay, oh, you're right. I forget the mental institution is in the cold. I mean, I'll give that half a point because it's not really outside.
They're not taking advantage of the winter setting in any way. That movie could take place at the exact same movie. It's in the summer. Nothing would change about it. So I don't think it counts.
It's just strange, right? That not one single entry in all these big horror franchises has ever been in any winter setting.
Even more ironic is that most of them film in the winter.
Yeah. Cheaper rates.
Yeah, which is fucking even stranger. So maybe eventually, but at this point, the fact that we haven't gotten it says to me that there has to be some kind of focus groups that are telling studios that no, we are not interested.
Because why don't you put Freddy, make a new one, and put it in Alaska during the time where it's like dark for, X amount of fucking weeks. And that people are sleeping more and their sleep cycles messed up. Like, and I don't know, just because of the winter setting,
Yep.
we have darkness, we have sleep, like we have all the elements we could work with, or some sort of snowed in town. That's what I've said about Jason, where it's like a snowed in town, or maybe like a snowstorm hits like a ski lodge, and then we have people in a location that can't get out of, and a serial killer, boom, it writes itself.
I've always said, for like, you set a slasher during a severe weather event. It's like, whether it's like, you can even have it be tornadoes, like where it's just something that are keeping people inside. You don't know when the threat is going to hit, or you have the winter storm that then keeps them inside. I don't know why they don't. Never gets taken
Keeps them
advantage
from
of.
escaping, and it takes care of cell phones. It does too. The big things, the big plot points that people point out that usually are so convoluted that, you know, even in a good movie, I'm like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah, happens a little too much. Even if I guess I won't get into it. There's a film that comes out soon that does it, where I'm like, son of a bitch, quit. We don't need. Oh, our cell phones don't work out here.
I can't believe I forgot to pay the cell phone bill once again. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah, I think it's so lame. But speaking of lame, I think that Kristen's death is a little lame. It's like the actual death itself, because she just kind of gets like tossed into the furnace and lit on fire. It's like, okay.
Okay, how about this? You're right, especially because we're supposed to believe this is the same exact character, and because of that, it's an underwhelming death. That being said, because I don't really love Tuesday Night, I find it hilarious. Like, this was the part I laughed out loud because it's such a disrespectful toss.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I don't think it's on purpose. I think it's just how it's filmed, just like the angle and the blocking of it. But it has this sort of like Naked Gun feeling of just like, fuck off. Like, boop, boop, boop.
Naked Gun,
so,
yeah. It has a Zucker Brothers feel to it.
Right? So, I mean, personally, it's probably my favorite death in the movie. I mean, it's not. But just for the fact that it's so comedic and I don't like her, and it's just sort of like getting rid of the old and with the new. So, you know, personally love it. I can see professionally not.
One thing that I do think is real cool about it, and this must be a Harlan thing because it happens a couple times. How the furnace gets there? There's a concrete wall, square gets knocked out of it, and then the metal grates like come out from that, and then it's like the next shot, that's the actual furnace. That's so fucking cool. Just little things like that, just the transformation. It's like, yeah, take advantage of the fact that you're in a dream. That's like, you get to be creative. Yeah, you don't have to just follow reality. Just do what you think will look cool, which Harlan is so good at. Yeah,
I mean, it's visually interesting, and again, how it's lit is just not in a real world. The greens and the reds, there's no plausible reason for them to be there, but it gives this, I don't know, more dimension.
I'm gonna always go back to Freddy's Revenge and the terribly lit final act, where it's like a little corner is red and then the whole rest of the screen is like, clearly they just didn't have enough money for lighting.
The one light bulb.
But this, and there's an example throughout the whole film of just proper lighting, but he just has an understanding of, it's like, oh, the greens are in the right spot. That's like reds in the background. There's not, essentially, I'm never like, oh, I know where the light is, because it's it feels natural.
It's just a part of the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And let's bring up, because I always like good continuity. And when I watched 3, obviously for this episode, I forgot that the souls were brought up in that as well. And here it's like, it's expanded upon a little, you know, and now we see him getting the souls and the power transfer, but it's like, okay, but that's still pretty authentic because we established souls in 3, and it's not too far off from him being a dream killer entity from 1. So just, I don't know, I think a good continuation of his powers and essentially setting up what will be the final battle. And I like that. I like that it's something that's not a new issue, that was a new thing that was brought up in this, but a continuation from what was brought up in 3.
Yeah, they're pretty good about launching off from what was already established, which I'm quite grateful for, especially in this era where everything's done in such a member berries way versus an actual, I don't know, logical progression or connection to events or characters. So it's nice to see in this where it's like, oh yeah, just connections that actually just feel natural and not like they're being pandered to then try and build a universe to then try and make money off of in some way.
It's respectable because we know that these were rushed and written quickly. I almost feel like all this is just blind luck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because Robert Shea, he was a money man. He easily would have taken the easy route and pandered and all this stuff. It would have helped his bottom line.
100%.
I just think that nobody was like paying attention enough, and the era as well. You know, like I'm more cynical now because things are built as universes, even if they're not. Yeah. Because that's always a potential. So like, even if it's not your intention, I know that comes up in meetings. Like, okay, but keep an eye out. If this does well, we could fucking do more. And yep. So it just feels nice to go back to a time when the things that are added are, there's no big deal. They're not, it's almost just there. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like this exact same thing now would be an epic scene where the souls are brought back and it's a reminder. I don't know, some shit like that. It's just not just all right, here we go. Rips off his shirt and we're done.
And this is a weird thing that I'm just now thinking of. So Freddy's obviously taking these kids' souls. That's what we've now got established. But is Alice taking part of their souls too? Because she's got some of their powers. What kind of transference of powers is going on here? Freddy's getting the souls. Alice is getting
That's a good point. The good stuff. Yeah, all the better stuff.
It's like, I don't know how this works out.
And also, what kind of hell is that for a soul? It's like you're just split apart. Like I'm assuming they seem in agony in Freddy.
Yeah.
But obviously she's getting good parts. So it's like, were they all evil people? Like, why wouldn't you just all transfer in the good stuff?
I mean,
she gets them at the end.
It's not all good stuff because it's like because they have little hints of Kristen's powers having transferred to Alice. With her, Alice lights up a cigarette, and then she's been being like, "I don't smoke." That's like our first little.
It's not, but that's not power. That's personality. That's even creepier.
Exactly. So now it's like, what? So what part? Freddy's getting some stuff. Alice is getting a lot of other stuff.
So these souls are just complete and utter agony, being just torn apart. Like who they are at their essence is just being torn apart. That's weird.
Wait a minute. So does that mean that when Freddy dies at the end and Freddy and all this stuff, the souls leave him? Does that mean that Alice loses those powers as well?
She sure shit should. She shouldn't be keeping any sort of soul stuff.
She doesn't really have those powers in 5. And it's pretty much it takes place like a year later.
I don't remember if she had any powers in 5. Well, then that means that she gives up her half, the other half in Freddy, they get to merge and go to heaven, I guess.
It seems like the kind of thing that like they could have easily like went in further into. Essentially what I'm saying is this story is there clearly in the film that they just don't acknowledge. Because it's like they talk about these elements going to Alice, but they just don't acknowledge at the end of like, oh, something also leaving Alice. Because I guess that also implies that then Alice is taking a portion of them, which then probably you don't want to acknowledge in the 80s because it makes her seem like a bad person.
It's Satanist. Yeah. All we needed was a little bit of a dream sequence or something at the end where like all the guys are together, this whole crew is in some fucking white light room, like, thank you, Alice. You're the best. And then it just fucking fades away or something. You just need some acknowledgement that like they've moved on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's cool because she gets powers, but now that I'm thinking, if she's taking personality traits, that's darker than I remember it being,
Yeah. I think that's a pretty creepy thing to be doing. Also, I mean, Alice is, I don't want to say autistic, but she seems like she might be on the spectrum.
Interesting. Well, I didn't catch anything myself, but I'd be curious your reasoning.
She's constantly like very inward, very like, she's definitely, she's decent socially, but that's about the only thing that is not like she's very prone to outbursts. She like freaks out quickly. She like at one point she like just like storms off, and she does so in such a she's almost acting like a 9-year-old, even though she's a high schooler.
She's really big into trains.
And she loves chalk. We got that in the beginning.
It's a good point. I mean, her mirror thing seems always a little, I mean, I get it's supposed to be because she's depressed, but it's like, that's a little strange.
I mean, Alice is, I could see a world where I didn't like Alice, like the character and how it's written. But I think Lisa Wilcox just does a really good job and makes her super personable.
Yes. No, you're 100% right. It has all to do with the actress, because a lot of these roles, I mean, are underwritten. It's a slasher. It's number 4. I do think a lot of this is, this is the one part, like I'm probably going to say, isn't Harlan as much, because maybe I'm being an ass, but did he really have the English language mastered? I feel like at this point, it's really like, yeah, he's going in the direction for the characters, but like you show up and how good of an actress and how charming and how, screen presence is up to you is on the actors fair and square in this movie. I'm going to say that.
I mean, yeah, it's all on the actors. They're written on the page as caricatures. It's like a jock, the pretty girl that works out, the nerdy girl with asthma. Like,
yep.
They definitely lean into and to be fair, I like, because then there's these defined traits that then they're able to, like Freddy is able to go after them for. There's these specific things, which is, we've talked about in other episodes. That's one thing I love. I don't want a fucking random thing. I don't want as much as I still, I mean, I love like Tina's death in the first Elm Street, but technically you're not going off. I mean, I guess even that is still a primal fear, because she's worried about someone like stalking her. But you're not like, there's a, damn it, my examples from that movie don't work, because everyone I'm thinking about, they technically come back around.
No, you're right though. No, hold on. I'm not going to interrupt you, but I'm just going to say why you're right is because 3 started and this one established it and becomes a thing where it's like the trait is the Twilight Zone irony death, which didn't exist. Like you could say a stalker and that strangling, but like if that's the case, then it would have been a stalker sequence, and the stalking would have been the end result or her demise.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm a big fan. That's why I mean, many reasons the remake doesn't work. It's like, it's just random shit. Like I want that connection, because what other horror franchise can do that? The only ones that can, it becomes so convoluted and stupid, because how is a killer gonna know your inner fears or inner desires, inner this or inner that? It's like, no, it makes sense with a dream demon. Like,
yes, or Wishmaster. That's the only two that have that element.
Yeah,
they have to have complete and utter access to your being.
Yeah, or I guess even like Chucky can get to it to some degree, because like you let your guard down and like he would see things that you wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like he'd be able to see things that you don't want him to see, and thus he knows you better than you expect because you let your guard down around him. But like Michael,
but he wouldn't though, because Charles Lee Ray is, I think, more efficient.
Yeah.
Or even Chucky. I mean, I haven't seen the TV show. Yeah. I saw the first season, I should say. But going off the movies, he's still trying to get in and out. He's a little more stealthy. I'm
tangenting. I shouldn't have gotten high before this. I keep going. I'm like, oh yeah, this is Elm Street.
Well, the diner, right?
I love that.
I love it too. Talk about a cool set piece, man. An old 50s. I fucking love old 50s looking diners, man. Every time I'm in a town that has one, I used to live near when it closed, and the food wasn't great, but I'd still go like at least once a month, because I'm like, I want to go to a diner. There's
a stupid franchise that I love that I've thought they all shut down, but apparently just the ones around me in Michigan, called Johnny Rockets. And it's an old 50s style diner, and It's kind of like Ed DeBevick's only with normal service.
Okay. Yeah, they're not insulting you.
Yeah, it's just they're just acting normal, but they have like the little mini jukebox on every table that you can like put in stuff, and then it'll play for everyone. And yeah, I'm on the same page with you because I love that style of food. So even when it's bad, it's like, I mean, it's a burger and fries. It's fine.
There's something so intrinsically American about it that, and it wasn't America that I even experienced, but I guess because I grew up on Happy Days, that's probably half of this, honestly. Mm-hmm. I feel like a non-Happy Days crowd. Like I bet a 17-year-old kid right now couldn't give a shit about a diner. If I showed him a diner, he'd be like, what about it? Yeah. I'm like, dude, no, look at this. It's like, I don't care. But in this, and it's like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, awesome, a diner set piece. Then it keeps coming back. Mm-hmm. I'm like, ooh, it's like a main set piece. And, obviously a little bit down the road, we get that cool loop thing. I'm like, ooh, loop at the diner. I like it.
The loop is so awesome. I mean, and I like too, the diner is super filled. There's so much shit in it. It doesn't feel like it's just set dressed. And I like that then it makes sense in terms of the connection, because there might even be that moment where you're like, wait, how are Alice and Debbie friends? It's like Alice seems super introverted, like Debbie's an extrovert that's clearly very popular. And then it's like, oh, yup, because you know what? You know what fucking happens? That. It's like, oh yeah, people you wouldn't even expect to be friends. And then it's like, oh yeah, they work together. So then they develop a friendship. Like that very much happens.
I've had a whole, I shouldn't say speech because there's nothing I've written down, but a thing I've told many people many times in life that the one thing about work that I find fascinating that nobody really ever wants to break down is that you put people together that in every way would not be friends, would not hang out, but give them a common goal. And fucking ego drops for the most time. I'm not saying people can't be dicks at work or there's something you don't like, but for the most part, like you come together with opposing people, opposing forces for a common goal. And over time, you end up gaining, even if it's not a friendship, an acquaintanceship, a respect for each other. There are, I used to work with like old religious ladies that would have nothing in common with me, but you find common ground somewhere because that's like, fuck, I'm here for 6 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, and I don't want to kill myself. So we're going to talk until we find something like, okay, we both love like old diners. That's our thing. Hey, Debbie, what about, I was watching fucking American Graffiti. It's like, that's the thing. And there's something I think very beautiful about that. Mm-hmm. Like I'm such a pessimist, but like, that's the part where I'm like, you know what? There is a chance we could be okay because work keeps people who should not be together or wouldn't be together. It puts them together and you find common ground.
And that's why when I say I love the characters and the characterization in this, it's stuff like that. That's everything just melds together in a way that I really enjoy. It appeals to me in a way that it probably wouldn't otherwise.
The work thing it's a very simple way to put two characters that, on the page will not fit and give me a reason to believe it. Because again, if they didn't do that, you'd be, why is the jock punk girl? I keep calling her punk, but I guess she's just like 80s.
Yeah.
80s, whatever. The punk girl's probably more 3. But again, they wouldn't hang out normally.
Yeah.
And nobody else gives a shit. But like the story gives you a reason to be like, okay, well, that's why.
Yeah. And let's talk about Sheila's death, because I think it's quite fun. But what the hell is with that robot arm that comes out and like fucking grabs onto her face?
What was she making? What's that thing she drops that Lisa takes over? What is that? That little machine thing?
Isn't it just an inhaler?
No, she drops like a weird, like, I don't know, it almost looks like my H5 in a way, but like all wacky and weird. Lisa picks it up after she dies. I always assumed it's something to do with that. Like she's into making shit. And so that's Freddy's way of again, knowing his victims. But they don't really ever get into it. And I space out sometimes. I'm like, I don't know, there's a line of dialogue I missed.
Oh, it is some weird little thing that she made that she picks up.
Lisa takes in the dream. Remember, she takes everything from everybody and then fights Freddy with it. So I'm like, what is that thing? I think it's that. So there's probably something cut out of the movie where she's like building stuff like, I don't know, fucking Peter Parker. It's like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, I have this. I think it'll help in the dream. I think it'll help zap his powers, which honestly,
exactly.
Good cut, Rennie. But we don't need the explanation. Just, oh, this nerd. Oh, there's a like Weird device on the ground. Oh, she uses it in the dream. Oh, we can make the connection.
It's because she had glasses and an inhaler. Like, she's probably good at making stuff.
She's a nerd. She's smart. She can do it.
Yeah, it's a good death. It sucks her. He does little cunnilingus thing with the.
Yeah. Want to
I like
suck
that.
face? That's like we get a little pervert Freddy. There's a lot of wonderful lines in this when we're talking about Dream Warriors having a ton of big lines, and this one does too.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is the one-liner movie. 3 has, I think, stood out because just that didn't exist before. He didn't really do that. But this is where they're like, yeah, suck face. How's that for a wet dream?
Welcome to Wonderland, Alice.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this is just full of it.
Which made me realize that, like, we as a society really suck, because even a line like "Welcome to Wonderland, Alice," I don't think it has the same effect these days, because everyone immediately like groans at the connections. Right? It's like, again, it goes member berries versus it just being like, no, her name's Alice, so Freddy's just making a joke. Like, it's Alice in Wonderland. It has a dream aesthetic to it. It makes sense. Meanwhile, now it's all just stuff. Capitalism, corporate, like it all feels like some kind of like corporatization thing.
Yeah, like the people who own Freddy would have to also own Alice in Wonderland so that they could juke up their stats.
It's like, are you making this line so that then suddenly the Mad Hatter is going to show up as a villain in the Freddyverse?
You know what? We talked off air, but I want to get, or maybe he was on air. I want to get into it though, because we're talking about Freddy and we're in the movie. His voice.
Yeah.
So it's modulated a little. It's not like a ton. It's not like 1, 2, or even parts of 3. But what's so weird is like at 3, I called out moments where it was Robert Englund's voice and not. So this is it's the exact same tone and style of the whole movie. And probably, again, I got to watch the rest of them. But to me, the Freddy voice. I think this is the Freddy voice. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's because it doesn't like flag for me. Like when I watch it, I'm not like, oh, that sounds weird. I'm like, oh, it sounds like Freddy. Meanwhile, like there's the moment in 3 where he's super modulated. You're like, oh God, what's going on here? And then not modulated. Then
he was holding the mother's head.
Yeah, in the same scene where then it's like, oh, okay, this is weird. But yeah, the consistency makes it so then it just blends in. I'm like, yep, that's Freddy.
Higher budget, man. This is it. This is that major label. But yeah, it's funny because I've been so hyper focused on the voice that I just want to bring up that this is completely consistent every way, and it to me is probably what I would think of if I had I thought in my head what Freddy sounded like. I think it's this. Yeah,
and sadly, I mean, I don't think that this is a case closed situation too. I'm pretty sure that we're going to come across some different voices coming up.
Well, I know Freddy's Dead specifically is all over the place.
Yeah.
Maybe even no modulation. I don't remember. 5 is the one I don't remember the voice at all. So
I assume it's I don't remember either, but I assume it's similar to this one because they were made so close together. Where then it's just like, if anything, it's just like, okay, we have a routine. Do the routine.
Yeah. They have it saved somewhere. Like this is like a preset.
Yeah. New Line has their post-production offices pretty well established at this point, I would assume. They're not just doing it at whatever random place that they can rent studio space for.
Yeah, you're right. They had exactly. They have it saved this time as opposed to redoing it every movie.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy how fast Freddy picks all these kids off. I think this is the most egregious in terms of just going nightmare to nightmare, kill to kill. Like, but I love it, but it's, I was pretty shocked at once. I mean, honestly, you could go back because even the Kincaid, it's like, oh, Kincaid, Joey, Kristen, and it just moves from there and just keeps on going all the way to the finale. Everything's super well spaced. I don't think we're going longer than 10 minutes without a death.
No, and that's probably why I think of this as the big popular one, because it's so efficient, but it doesn't feel rushed. It feels like I hate to be stereotypical, like a roller coaster ride, but that's it. I mean, the brother's death with the glove is shit, but I know in the behind the scenes, they basically said they ran out of time and money and just fucking killed him as best way they could. But I mean, I feel like because there's so many in such a quick order that would bother me more in part 3, where it was far more spaced out, where I'm like, oh, we wasted one. We're here. I'm like, meh. Yeah, we're right after this, right before this one. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. If there weren't so many deaths, Rick's death would be very disappointing because it would be like, oh, well, fuck. But because it's just like, oh, I think essentially right after Rick's death, we get Debbie's death. So it's like you don't even really have a moment to think. And also, I think Debbie's death happens parallel to Alice and the time loop. So there's just like there's so much happening that then you don't even have a moment to think of like, oh, dang, Rick just kind of dies.
It's probably my favorite part of the movie, actually, because not Rick's death. I'm saying that like right after that. I figured not. I do like the Malaysian setup, but there's so much happening that's so interesting and so visually stimulating that, outside of Debbie's amazing death, the loop, the theater, the whole theater scene's beautiful to me. Like just cool looking. Even when she walks up to get the ticket, like that booth is outlined with this like neon green. And it's just like, oh, it's so interesting.
Every night, this is what this made me realize. Every Nightmare on Elm Street needs to have the rotating room trick at least once. Like you just need, it's every time they do it, it's incredible. And I don't like, I love it. Like Alice she's like flying towards the screen. Meanwhile, there's people that are still there. The popcorn starts flying off. There's so much about it it's just incredibly well done. Just all Harlan just being a, I don't know, visual mastermind.
It's a great scene, and it brings us back to the diner.
Yep.
It's like I'm going back to where I love. No, the whole thing's great. And again, it's not. We get a whole cool set piece that's not for a death. This is just a transition. I mean, she's dreaming, and we would not realize she was dreaming the whole time. Yeah. But there's a whole like. This is the fake setup, which normally I hate, but because it's visually wild. Because it's like the second we're like, oh, in a dream, she's floating. The popcorn thing, that's very cool because it almost like it's gravity being changed. Mm-hmm. The diner, she's in like a black and white movie, and then she's looking out, and it's like a projection screen out of everything. It's like, oh, this is so cool. I want to hang out here.
Let's discuss something that I've been very excited to talk to you about, which we might. I mean, this is a part 1 discussion. We'll have to finish it in the next one. Alice's drunk father. I think he has one of my favorite arcs of the franchise, and he's one of my favorites.
That's awesome. In this movie, he becomes a good person. I believe in part 2, he's like super supportive, but they didn't need to do that. I'm actually surprised they did. Like, why? Like, I'm almost like, why did you make the drunk deadbeat, who just would have been the drunk deadbeat and maybe even killed him? But like at the end, he's like supporting his daughter, and he's worried about his daughter, and he cares about his daughter. I was like, in a 90-minute part 4 movie, you didn't need to give me a heart and soul, but I thank you for it.
It's wonderful. There's that moment where he is suddenly supportive of Alice because he's like, I wasn't supportive of Rick and he died. And so it's like this, anything you need, I'm listening. I'm here. And then Alice is like, I got to deal with this on my own. She leaves. But it's like, it's that great. And obviously then the next movie, the payoff is even better with it. But we don't need that. Like, they didn't need to give that to us. He could have been like Kristen's mom easily.
Yeah. And then just been that part of the movie. No, Lisa, I think I keep calling her Lisa. I know you're using Alice. I keep switching off.
Everyone knows.
Who knows? I'm calling it. I don't know.
There's no Lisa in the French. No, Lisa Zane. So we don't have to worry about it until Freddy's dead. So we can call her Lisa.
I'm bad at names, and we're just kind of vibing here. But it adds something to Alice's or Lisa Wilcox's character. It really does. And I just think it's little screen time that I don't know, adds a lot. Like her getting that support, especially because her mom died. It's such peripheral shit that doesn't need to be here, but we need to give credit that it adds a layer of dimension to the character in the world, because now she has her father who she lost because her mom died, her father became a drunk, and her father turns around and they bring him back. So it's like, it's a continuing thing. I don't know. I think it's a great character, and I'm happy it's in here. I don't know why it's in here. I'm still confused. I don't know. Is this really Harland or Bob Shea? None of those guys come off as like let's put some dramatics in the background of Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
This could have been something that the writers were just like, we expected them to cut it. They cut all the cool stuff we do, and then we were shocked it lasted in the movie. Turns out that Harlan was just like drinking buddies with this guy, so he's like, I'm not gonna cut your scenes.
I feel bad. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I keep putting Harlan in the light of like just like a douchebag, and I do love him. I think he does great stuff. Oh. But I could see him banging, Knight and making deals like that.
I guess this is where I should say, I have interviewed Rennie Harlan on multiple occasions. I have met his wife. She's very nice. I have Rennie Harlan, definitely, like, we're on good terms. I like Harlan. He was a madman in the 80s and 90s. I don't think that's a crazy thing to state, and I don't think we've said anything too nuts. But no, I'm a big Harlan guy, and yeah, I have a very fond memory of Courtney Solomon, who's like a producer on the new Strangers. Him and Rennie talking about how cool I am at a table, nearby, because I was talking to a different journalist, and then I like just heard it off to the side. I'm like, I had to stop. Like, once they left, I'm like, I'm sorry, I did not hear a word you just said, because those guys just said that I was really cool because I had just done interviews with them.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. No, like I said, I love, he does a lot of movies I love. I'm just going to paint him in a picture that just seems like a fucking wild guy in the movie, giving favors to C-level character dads and banging the star. That's all.
Yeah. Most of our knowledge comes, second, third hand from the documentaries and different, like, just behind the scenes things. So those aren't always a great representation of reality. So who knows? We're fans, not experts.
No, not at all. So Rick's on Debbie's death, and Debbie's I keep saying punk, but whatever, the rocking chick.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned to you that I loved the puppet death because it was like more body horror than the series was like into at the moment. And then I watched this, and it's like, oh man, this goes so much harder. This is amazing. This is what, to me, set the franchise on a path where this is what I want always. Like, super weird. And it's also 3 separate, or at least 2 separate parts. It's like her working out. You think it's going to be some with the weights, and her arms start breaking. It's like, oh, it's a torture because of, again, her passion. But again, she freaked out about the bug when we first met her, and we're going all the way back to that, which is, she might make a bug reference twice in the movie. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I don't have that listed. But then it becomes this whole torture scene of her becoming a roach in the Roach Motel. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. And it's so gross. And the separation, they do a great job with it. One time, like, the editing on that is so well done, because it goes from her having the goo on her face, and then the next shot it cuts, and it's the roach thing with another mask on it, that then the mask drops down, and it's so well done. Just brilliant. Steve Johnson, great job.
Yes, 100%. The one thing that sticks out, and not a complaint, because I think it's charming, but when it's the view of Freddy's, she's the bug's looking out the window, and it's Freddy's eye. It's clearly a screen.
Back projection, yeah. Very much so. And
I wonder, with a 4K transfer, if that's something they would update. Not that I want them to, per se, but I just think of, like, that's something that, as a director, I would probably tweak and be like, listen, guys, I know you're going to hate me because it's not 100% the same, but, because it does look like a movie screen.
I can tell you what I think they would do. I think that they would essentially mask out the screen so that they can color time it separately from the other elements. That way they can like darken it, make it not look like it's rear projection.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and potentially even use AI on it, make it like clean it up further, since you lost detail from the projection. I assume that's what they would do for it. Maybe we'll watch it and we're just like, oh, that's still just the same rear projection.
If they'd kept it, that'd be great too. Because I don't want to ever advocate for changing things, but just every once in a while I see something where I'm like, oh, I guess as a director, that would be something that I would think could be tweaked.
I would assume that Rennie, one thing that I'm very curious, if I interview him before the box set comes out, that'll be one thing I ask, is if he was actually involved with the remaster, because Jack Shoulder and Rachel Talalay were involved with their movies. So I would assume that if you're live, they're inviting you to like be involved. At least I hope. Because
I'm excited.
Because again, like I said earlier, that's definitely the one that I'm most looking forward to. I mean, I own the first one on 4K already, and it looks great. But I mean, I've been along the journey with that first film. You know what I mean? I have 2 different DVDs, including like that DVD that was a remaster. So then I've seen the increments of that getting better and better over the years versus, I haven't really seen Dream Master improve to that degree.
I would say 3 through 6, I'm the most excited for, just because I feel those are the most visually interesting movies.
I'm excited for 2 just to see what they do with it, because of the whole HDR element, to see if it makes the image pop a little more, because that was the biggest thing.
Sure.
Dull and like I was gonna say not bright. I guess dull just works for it. Just dark image.
It is dull. It's I don't think it's ugly, but visually it's my least favorite. It does have a weird stigma to it, just how it looks.
Yeah.
Like it's the one that doesn't fit.
Yeah. Because even Freddy's Dead, they're still good. They're still good visuals. So I'm sure that 4K is going to look good.
I mean, I would say there's probably as much color in 6 as there is in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, not as cool looking. This is more cartoonish, but like, they definitely weren't shooting in shadows and dimly lit sets,
Yeah. Well, I think we are to the finale, so let's discuss this. Alice's suiting up. Alice is like getting ready montage, which I guess it doesn't happen in this one, but they have like the nunchuck moment that I always love. It's like a back shot, and it's very clearly not Lisa Wilcox.
It's in this one. It's like earlier when she realizes she's got what's her name's powers, because the wig is so bad that I noticed it. And wigs are something I've become more aware of. But dude, for most of my life, I was wig blind. I would just be like, oh, yeah, there's no difference.
No.
But this round, I was like, oh. But her suiting up, dude, is amazing. It's amazing.
I love the suit up moment.
Yeah. Oh, man. She jumps through the mirror. She's pulling down all the pictures. Like, da, da, da. I think the music sucks, but it doesn't matter because it's such a cool moment.
I don't mind the music in that scene in particular, just because it feels very like, we're like, it's on the verge of 80s montage, like, so it works for like it almost gives me like a Rocky feel to it, like
I also think you're far more sympathetic to this type of music. Like, I fucking hate this guitar tone or distortion, whatever. This is a very specific era distortion that is in nothing else. I best case, I'll be like, yeah, it's fine. But I'm just saying that, like, there's almost nothing you could show me with that guitar tone that I would like, because it would be such a distraction.
That makes sense.
It's just, just what it is. But yeah, it's like that high, I don't know. It's just like fucking, I feel like glam metal. I don't know. I could be wrong. I am talking out of my ass. Like, I know songs, guys, but I've never really listened to like a ton. And I feel like I probably get a lot of shit. I don't know if I'm getting it now or this is this is in the future and this is recorded so long ago that you're listening to this, but I've accepted the fact that, I mean, me and John did a show and he loves his stuff, and I don't like Van Halen. No. I don't like Dokken. I don't like Kiss. I don't like, I don't know, what's that one? Tommy Lee's and the drums. What fucking band is that?
Motley Crue.
Oh. But again, love what you love. It's like,
but I understand music. Because I have the similar thing where it's like, so I'm very opinionated. I'm very opinionated just in general, but when it comes to movies, I can be opinionated, and it's like, I know when I'm right and I know when I'm like being very subjective. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like with music, it's like, I know my opinion. I couldn't tell you why my opinion is right or wrong, versus a movie where I'm like, I can tell you why this and that and that and this. Music, it's more of just like a feel and like where I'm like, that person sucks. Why don't you like? I don't like the sound of their voice. Like,
I mean, but it's true though, because visually, it's a lot easier to point out visual issues than in script issues, because I think there's such a structure with music. Outside of music theory, a lot of it is like preference. Yeah. We've talked about before, but there are bands I love that can't sing well, but I've come to realize in my later life, but the voice is so much character. But you could show me somebody who can't sing well, and I'd be like, that is terrible. You should kill yourself. Now, why can't I do that for something you showed me? Because it's like, technically, maybe that characteristic isn't what I'm into. But again, for this scene, I'm not saying it doesn't work, and I think you're actually right. It fits it perfectly for a 1988 movie. Just, I'm not vibing to it. I'm not going to put it on the car. Yeah. It's not the ending of Graveyard Shift.
Yeah, I get that. I like, I guess I didn't realize too, the leather jacket would have been Debbie's. That's why they established the leather jacket, which also, like, Alice looks good in it. It's the kind of thing I didn't realize until watching it last night, where there are instances where it's like the person puts on like the jacket, puts on this or that, and they just look so out of place. But this, I'm like, oh yeah, I like Alice in this look. It works for her.
She looks cool. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't know if it's the same jacket, but is it the same jacket? Maybe they put it on her and it didn't look good, so they tailored it. I don't know that. But I know what you're saying, where
yeah, that's true.
It could come off corny, and it doesn't. Mm-hmm. It feels like, oh shit, okay, this is the ending of Grease, where what's her name? Turns into the cool girl. Like, this is her version of that, Because it could have looked like, oh, you're wearing your older sister's clothes. That's what it can. Because sometimes it can look like, oh, a kid trying to dress like an adult. So it worked. In part 3, I felt like that's a good example of like, it stuck out this time. I'm like, ooh, it looks like you're trying to be an adult.
Yeah, they were trying to dress her up past her actual age. That was for sure. I was gonna say, we didn't really talk Freddy's look. We kind of talked a little bit, but like not exact. Like, what do you? Because I like his look here.
It's the mainstream look. I would say, it's perfect. It's his face, his everything, his shirt, the pants. The only thing that I guess for some reason I could be wrong, but the brim of the hat seems shorter. Now I'm not sure if that's if I'm right. Is it?
Dude, I thought the same. You saying, because I'm like, there's something about the hat. The hat looks
that's
weird.
A little off. Yeah. I think it's the brim is not long enough. Because it makes the top seem longer. Yeah. So really, I guess the hat, if I'm picking something, looks a little weird. But his look is probably, again, it's not my favorite, only because I'm weird and I like weirder stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think this is the look they should have tried to mimic going forward for sure. This is, like you said, the Spirit Halloween. Yeah. This is the perfect, because it's not Burn Victim right now. It's almost Monster. This is Monster Freddy.
Yeah, I think this is the last of my favorite looks.
5 sucks.
Yeah, 5 and 6. We'll see when we get there, but I've really kind of gone against the New Nightmare look as well. So yeah, I know I used to always like it, and then I don't like certain things in it. It reminds me too much of some of the looks in 5 and 6. But this one, I think it still looks fleshy enough, but it's still, I keep calling it like the Spirit Halloween. It's just the basic. It's what you think of when you think of Freddy. So
the most polished. What I want to bring up real quick is I noticed this round is his brow bone and eye socket kind of form these little squares. It's an interesting, because it's a subtle thing that I feel like I didn't notice before in other movies. So I think it's this one. Mm-hmm. But I actually I'm going to argue and say I think that's a part of what makes this look so unified, is that he has a little bit of definition there where I feel it's in 2 he did, and 3 not so much. That gives that face, but this is the face. I feel bad because Spirit Halloween sounds like we're insulting it.
Yeah.
But this is like, if you're buying a $900 mask, how about that? If you're buying an expensive fucking Freddy mask, this is the one you want.
Yes. Yeah. That's that's more of what, it's the same thing of, I guess Trick or Treat Studios, I guess should be the reference point that I should make, is because that's essentially what I'm thinking of, is the Trick or Treat Studios quality of mask.
I love Spirit, and I don't think Spirit's bad, but I guess I want to clarify, because I could see like out of context, it's sounding like real dickish.
Yeah, no, I agree. This one also too, it feels like one uniform piece. I feel like the other ones feels like a little bit like, oh, this piece, that piece. This one, it feels like they just slapped, which I don't think that's the case. I think that it's still sections, but it just feels more, they know they have a set plan. They're not doing a different way. Like, they know how to get it on and what layers, there might just be slight variations, which
it's
makes
a polished
sense.
version.
Well, it makes sense too, because it's Kevin Yeager. So obviously he's experience doing it. It's not like having to start over from scratch, because he started at 2. Yeah. So like, he clearly has always had a good understanding and knows what he's doing. But is this his last? Yep, this is his last one. That's why that's why the look changes. Because I was like, wait a minute, the look changes in 5, so he must not. But oddly enough, makeup designer for Freddy's Nightmares.
Him? Yeager?
Yeah, Yeager. So I've
never been a fan of that show.
I've only ever seen the one episode that was
backstory.
The backstory, and I didn't like it. And I'm like, why would I watch this? I don't want to need a Freddy Krueger hosted show.
Yeah, listen, I appreciate it. I know it exists because of this movie specifically, but it just was not the right time. It just wasn't.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That was why. What the fuck? So Freddy's Nightmares was 88, 89. Poor Robert Englund. He's doing so, like, this period of the 80s, he is just nonstop Freddy shit. Like, nonstop.
Yeah. This is Freddy became like a cultural icon. I mean, listen, it sucks, but at the same time, he probably has a nice house in Malibu because of it.
Yeah.
Because I think that he did music videos around this time, TV appearances. I mean, he was probably in the makeup more than he was not.
I'm blown away by the fact. I just had never realized. For some reason, I thought Freddy's Nightmares came after. I thought, because there's that little break in between 5 and 6. I just assumed it was in that period, but nope. Smack dab in the middle of when they're doing all this stuff.
Popular Freddy, man.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. What do you think of this final set piece in the church?
I think it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I love it. I love that Freddy opens his door, like his big entrance.
Yeah.
And it's like a red-green storm. I don't know what it is. It's just wind and crazy shit.
Isn't that the Welcome to Wonderland or Welcome to Wonderland Alice moment?
Welcome to Wonderland, Alice.
I'm watching it again right now, and it's like it's just beautiful. It's so cool looking.
The colors. I mean, he's constantly dealing with, all the shots are so colorful and dynamic, and it's never the same. You might go from a shot that's like red and blue to a shot that's green and yellow to a shot that's like mostly black with like a streak of red, and nonstop, just beautiful.
The church is haunted looking. It's neon lit. It's what I think of like Dreams. I mean, he's like using like wide angles, making things look all distorted. The fact that the church obviously has all the stained glass gives it another visual look that is cool. It just, I don't know. It's MTV Freddy, but this is exactly where I'd be okay staying, honestly. like this visual style. If we just want to like do 10 movies that look and feel like this, I'm down.
Yep.
I'm down.
Yeah, this is where like how you and I are like, give me a million Friday the 13th set at a summer camp. That's I like that. Like I like that aesthetic. It's like, yeah, you can do different things. That's fine, but I'm not going to be the person that's like, this is the same thing we got in 3. It's like that's how I feel with Elm Street to this point, where it's like, yeah, you make this movie. Just give me this movie over and over. Give me this same blueprint, different people. Just do that over and over, and I'll love it.
Yeah, because the set pieces would change, and that would be what differentiates it from all the other ones. It's like, you know, keep the interesting colors and stuff, but just put it different places, and that will make it different. Fred 13th. Yeah, because the thing is, I think because I'm on Jason's side, and really Jason's a meat and potatoes series. Yeah. I'm here to watch him kill. Where Freddy, theoretically, I don't think there's anyone I've ever really rooted for him for. I just like him more in certain movies, but this is one of the few series that I'm not completely like, okay, let's just get back to Freddy. I feel like only because, as we talked about, Nightmare on Elm Street is such a visually interesting series that even when, again, Alice is in a movie theater hanging out, I know it's a dream, but that's a good, I don't know, 10 minutes. Whereas nothing with Freddy, it had nothing to do with Freddy physically. It's like, so that's where I think the series benefits. Is like we could have interesting stuff that's just not necessarily the killer with the glove.
Yeah. And Freddy's presence is still felt. You feel there's still a vibe throughout where he doesn't.
I think that's it.
Yeah. He doesn't feel absent from the story even when he's physically not there, which helps out.
Yeah. Where Jason, you're right though, that's the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, Jason, you need his physical presence there. Otherwise it's hard to, he's not like quipping and he's not tormenting people. I mean, I guess trying to think of even if there's anything that Michael's more the one that like leaves shit to fuck with people. So
Jason does. Remember we've always talked about like Jason will like leave a body that falls out of a tree when you walk past. So he's doing some stuff, but there's not much he can visit. I mean, I would say Jason and Michael are in the same path where you need to have strong actors and strong characters when they're not around, because what makes the bad movies in those movies, what makes the bad entries in those series bad is that usually it's when the killer's gone, I'm fucking miserable until he comes back. And that rarely, if almost never happens in this series. Yeah. And I've said it before and I'll say it now. This is not my favorite horror series, but it's probably the best one because I don't think there's really a truly bad entry. Even the entries that are bad are more interesting than the worst Jason, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree. That's what's the this whole final stretch. I love they like that tunnel. It's like the vagina tunnel. Yeah, the carnal tunnel. The people looking like stretching out. There's so many crazy visuals in this, and it's also that's set up from like going into his mouth, into Freddy's mouth.
Yeah, okay. When I said carnival tunnel, I meant like the one where he's spinning. You're talking about, where at the people and it's doing the 360 and it's all pink. It's great. Yeah, dude, it's so cool looking. I love that stuff.
I thought you said carnal tunnel.
You repeated me and I was like carnival, and I was like, I don't know. I guess it could be vagina. It's just a hole. But no. This one you're talking about is I get the reference now.
Yeah, okay. That's why when you said carnal, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good way of putting it as well. It is a carnal tunnel. But I just the look of it is, and because obviously it leads to the people breaking out.
I like that the grabbing.
Yeah, I think it's Freddy's best death, the best death of the franchise. Yeah,
actually, I mean, I'll talk after 5 because it's been a little bit, but I think just in terms of how cool and weird this is, like I appreciate the weirdness. I forgot that, and again, that's really I think what this series does the best, better than most, or better than all. I mean, maybe Hellraiser could give it a run for its money at times. Is it gets weird? Mm-hmm. This on paper is weird. This being shot is weird. Everything about this is strange. I'm like, I like it. It's just not a simple. Like the third one's a cool ending, but it's okay. Holy water, then disappears.
Light coming out. He's spinning.
But this, it's like souls become physical, and his head stretches, and you got Lena Quigley and boobs pushing out of his chest. It's cool. It's a cool visual.
Yeah, I love the behind the scenes. I think it's Rennie. He's like, push your tits up against the whatever.
You know what he wanted. You know what he wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great visual. Like, it looks awesome, and the whole
rip off his jaw.
Yeah, there's so many things about that. Like the planning behind that. I'm intimidated when I see that, because when you go to these different shots and I'm like, oh my God, that's a separate thing. That's a separate thing. It's very well done. And again, the fact that this was done so quickly, very impressive. I'm not surprised that then Harlan went off and did a bunch of shit, because if I'm a studio exec and I see this movie and know the circumstances, I'm like, get that guy. Get that guy.
This made his career. This was his, Elm Street did that. They got like no-named directors and then let them really just do what they wanted. Yeah. I mean, there's a script, but I feel like that's the thing I got to give credit for Bob Shane. Maybe it was laziness, but he wasn't really dictating how things looked in the style. I think he just really gave that up to the directors. Yeah,
which is why, I mean, visually, between I would say 4 and 5 are some of the strongest visually, because Rennie Harlan and Stephen Hopkins, like, just good eyes, do very creative things. They're not typical directors even nowadays. So it's very obviously, it was such a creative franchise. It's not surprising that they were able to do so much outside the box.
And they were allowed. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Is that, they were successful. They're like, okay, cool. I don't know. It seemed hands-offy to me.
Yeah. And unless I'm mistaken, they don't really tease another Freddy at the end of this.
No, I believe it actually just ends on a positive note, right?
Yeah, because it's them.
Well, she sees him in the puddle, but like, I think that's more of a PTSD thing that like, he's finally gone.
Because even when it does the fountain shot, I'm like, it's Fred. Are they the girls, like they're going to be like girls jump roping, and then it's like, nope, the credits start scrolling, and you're like, oh, is this the happiest ending that Elm Street's
had? A natural ending. If you think about it, this probably is the more natural ending.
Yeah.
From 1 to now, they're all connected. I mean, 2 not. But it just like ends up walking away from the fountain and happy and in the daylight, and everything's saved.
Yeah, you really don't need 5. It expands the lore, which we'll get into, expands the lore in an interesting way too. But it's this is narratively, it's very satisfying trilogy. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4.
Yeah, a great trilogy actually.
Yeah,
all different.
Very different.
All feel somewhat naturally connected. They bring some each unique to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that thing. This is just a trilogy.
I have a hard time though stopping. I couldn't do rewatch.
No, because they exist.
Yeah.
And I know they exist. If this was made now, I could walk away, but no, I'm too far in, dude.
Yeah. I can walk away on a rewatch. Because I've rewatched this series in the past where it's like the first one, then I'll do 3, 4, 5, and then I'm done. I might do New Nightmare. But
see, I always just watch when I'd watch them randomly. I almost never do like a order rewatch.
Well, I mean, I'll watch the first one randomly, but usually if I'm watching 3, 4, 5, it's preceded by preceded or proceeded by one of the others. I just think they go together very well. It's always been like ones I've liked. What's your favorite kill from this film?
Debbie's, hands down.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to say this now. I got more to go, but as of right now, it's probably my favorite kill in the series. I just think it's special effects wise, visually, in terms of how it's set up and executed. It's cool, man.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it would definitely be Debbie as well, and it's up there. I mean, are we counting? I guess we'll get into it next episode. It's like, are we counting the uncensored version of Dan's death?
That's going to say the bike death uncensored would probably be number 1, 2. But this is, how about this? If it's not number 1, it's definitely top 2 at this point. I mean, let's see. It's the whole point of me rewatching these and holding off for a few years is that I don't remember everything. Like I remember all the deaths generally, but the specifics is what's going to change a rating. But Debbie's death, hands down.
You know what? That's another thing. That's one thing I want you to start thinking of for our ranking episode. I'm gonna do at least the top 5 just favorite kills.
I'll do my best. I fucking rankings. I hate all, and I'm ranking the kills now.
Yeah, because then it's just something that it's another thing for us to discuss in the ranking. So you guys have that to look forward to. What would you rate Nightmare on Elm Street for the Dream Master?
It's funny because there were some issues I had this time, or at least some things that I don't know. For some reason, my rewatch wasn't super exciting. I don't know why, but now we're talking about it. I think I'm just going to say 4. Honestly, I feel like 1, 3, and 4 to me are perfect on their own ways, and they're all flaws, each one. But for some reason, I think these are the strongest entries for doing the same story 3 different times.
Yeah, I mean, I think you took the words out of my mouth. Even before we started recording, I was like, I just didn't enjoy this viewing as much. But then we're talking about it and all this. I love so many things about this, and how many things, like the narratively what they do. There's a lot of essentially building blocks, like everything builds off each other. It's that rather than and then, it's because of, and they just do a good job with the kill. Like everything's so creative, and I feel like this is probably the most accessible Elm Street.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, which is crazy to say because obviously it's starting off and it's like it's characters that's killing off 3 characters that are from a prior film. But I think that works. I think that's an established thing in horror films. You don't need to. I mean, look at the first Elm Street. The first Elm Street were essentially dropped into this story. So you could say the same thing about 4. We're just dropped into this story. You're given enough context clues to still know what happened leading up.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, it's we need to give credit because it was established, but it's still pretty ballsy at this point to kill off all the main characters. And whether it works or not to some people, I mean, again, I think if this came out at a different time, it would have been probably worse. And I think if Arquette stayed on, that could have been worse as well for the transition part of it. But I'm still going to look at this as if I've never seen it and say that, like, yeah, that's some ballsy screenwriting. And maybe it wasn't taken as ballsy. Maybe it's taken as contract negotiations, laziness, or something, but it doesn't matter. In the scheme of a story, killing off the characters of what was the return to form is unique enough where I'm going to give you credit.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think we've pretty much done it. This is definitely
our longest episode.
Yeah, easily our longest. Oh, dude, I knew we were in trouble when I looked at the recording, and I was like, we're like 50 minutes in, and we were 10 minutes into the movie. Like, oh, but. I mean, I feel like we talked about some good stuff. You guys will have to let us know if this was considered a good episode. I think it was entertaining. So that's all that matters. And thank you guys so much for listening. You guys can make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You can also, make sure you can comment on our Spotify. Like Spotify allows you to comment on episodes. You can also make sure you can email us at needlesslynostalgic@gmail.com. Talk to us on our Instagram, which we are quite active on. We also have a YouTube, and we have a Patreon where we post 2 bonus episodes a month. And we should have had, what is this? We're in May now for this. We should have just had an episode release. So check that out. We have 2 different tiers, $5 and $10. And there's even a free tier that you can check out that just will give you preview of each of the contents. So yeah, check that out. And thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye.